rules here now. We're back to unified rules.
Unified, no 3 knockdown rule, no standing 8 count. Only the referee can stop the fight, and a fighter cannot be saved by the bell at all.
All right, Michael Buffer, our ring announcer, is standing by, and with the many networks that are involved tonight, as soon as they get all coordinated, we will have the announcement of Michael Buffer, and we'll have this fight underway for you. It's an exciting night, and this figures to be a dandy of a fight. Here is Michael Buffer to get it started. Here we go.
Ladies and gentlemen, good evening, and welcome to the FedEx Forum here in Memphis, Tennessee, where tonight, DeBella Entertainment and Gary Shaw Productions are proud to present the main event of the evening. 12 rounds of boxing for the undisputed middleweight championship of the world. Presented in association with Prize Fight Boxing and HBO Sports. Sponsored by Nemiroff and Pro Kids. Sanctioned by the Tennessee Boxing Commission. Assistant Commissioner Meredith Sullivan. Administrator John Lillard. At ringside, the 3 judges scoring this bout on the 10-point system will be Chuck Jampa, Ray Hawkins, and Melvina Lathan. And when the bell rings, the man inside the ring, in charge of the action, your referee, Frank Garza. And now, for the thousands in attendance and the millions watching around the world, ladies and gentlemen, let's get ready to rumble! Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner, wearing gray trimmed with white. Official weight, 159 pounds. Professional record, 53 bouts. 50 victories, including 25 knockouts, with 3 defeats from St. Petersburg, Florida. The #1 ranked middleweight challenger in the world, the former undisputed light middleweight world champion, Ronald Winky Wright. Fighting out of the red corner, wearing red, official weight, 160 pounds. A perfect professional record consisting of 25 bouts, 25 victories, including 17 knockouts. From Little Rock, Arkansas, the reigning, defending, undefeated, undisputed middleweight champion of the world, Jermain Bad Intentions Taylor.
So we're just about to get it underway. You know, if you are surprised by the booing to Winky Wright, the reason for that is Jermain Taylor lives in Little Rock, which is only about a 2-hour drive from here, so it's kind of a hometown crowd for Jermain Taylor.
In the dressing room. Most of all, I want a good, clean bout, a fair and square bout. May the best man win. Gentlemen, give me your hands. Touch them up. Come out at the bell.
All right, so the stage is set. Jermain Taylor has the red trunks with the white trim. Winky's decked out in gray with the white trim. Frank Garza, the referee, third man in the ring. Chuck Giampa, Ray Hawkins, and Melvina Lathan are the judges. Giampa from Nevada, Hawkins from Texas, and Melvina Lathan from New York. 10-point must-scoring system. Dave went over the rules for you. The unified rules of boxing. We're set to go here. This is scheduled for 12. The middleweight championship of the world. Here we go. Winky Wright, the southpaw, holds those hands high, and he attacks first. Jermain goes with a wild left hand that sails past the nose of Winky. Neither guy has landed a significant blow in the first 15 seconds of the fight.
We will look for the right-hand lead for Jermain Taylor to go against the left-handed style, the double left hook, and for him to keep his lead foot outside the lead foot of Winky Wright. So far, it's been inside there. He would like to keep Winky Wright moving in small circles. That's the textbook way to fight a lefty.
Well, of course, Bernard Hopkins, a very technical fighter, and Taylor was able to figure him out. Winky Wright is equally a technical guy and a very difficult guy to look good against. But Jermain just has to keep that jab in his face, and then the straight right hand between the gloves of Winky Wright. And you know something, Dave? I can see the power significance there of Jermain Taylor. He really looks stronger than Winky.
Well, when you come in here, the big factor in favor of Jermain Taylor is that he is a truer middleweight between these two fighters. He's been at this weight class all along, whereas Winky Wright has done his best work at 147, 154. He hasn't really proven himself in this division, and that is one big factor in Taylor's favor.
Well, there's a tight defense with the gloves held high, and Taylor takes advantage of it by blasting the body of Winky Wright. Winky really hasn't done too much offensively as yet. He's a guy that opens up and can fight in spurts. He'll go with left-hand leads from time to time, but right now Taylor's outboxing him here through the first part of the first round of this fight.
And for those in Winky Wright's corner, they see a left-handed Bernard Hopkins who will counterpunch more than Hopkins did against Taylor, because Winky Wright moves on the angles, he slips the shots, and then he throws his punches in. But what a lot of people underestimate about Jermain Taylor is that he can stop you, hurt you with a shot. He hit Bernard Hopkins in the second round of their first fight, a big right hand, and it changed the outcome of the fight right there. It determined the pace from there on out.
And by golly, Jermain is loading up shots here. He's having a nice first round here against Winky. As I say that, Winky gets the right hand lead through. Right hand lead, it's actually his jab for the southpaw. Now the corner, Winky's going 30 seconds like they expect him to pick up the pace here and try to do something. Jermain makes him miss. When they're in tight, Jermain pummels him with that left hand, and then he misses with a wild left hand up over the head. Remember, it's his right hand that's the power shot. For Winky, the southpaw, it's his left hand, a little uppercut on the inside. Boy, Taylor just looks so much stronger to me right now. Winky tries to walk him down, stands, doesn't let much of an offense go. Now he lets a short, crisp left hand go, and Taylor punch shots him, digging body shots. Kind of half taken on the elbows, but enough got a piece of the body. I think the first round goes to Taylor.
Agreed.
This is Winky Wright.
Body. All right, that's the body. You're looking good, Taylor. A little more. Gotcha. And you got to run a few more numbers now. 1, 2, 3, 4s, and 5. Water. You hear me? Yeah, you got it. Breathe. Breathe.
Get back to working your jab a little bit on, but mainly trying to catch him with the Suzy Q roll in the right hand when he shoot that jab. You understand? Don't let him burn yourself out, okay? Looking good.
Manuel, a cool customer in the corner, gives one thought to his fighter in there in between rounds, doesn't flood him with a lot of emotion and flood him with a lot of thoughts, gives him one thing to think about, roll with that punch and get you a clean shot and be patient. You're doing fine, son.
How many concepts can a guy process through his head in that short time? The top trainers realize, give them one good idea.
And Emmanuel, one of the coolest customers in training fighters throughout the course of the years. He's had some great champs. Well, Winky must want to pick it up because he's only assaulted a little bit more here in round number 2 than he was in round 1.
Yeah, big factor in this fight, the reach advantage of Jermain Taylor, 6 inches, and he can be able to keep Winky Wright at bay if he uses that jab properly. So Winky Wright is going to have to storm and take chances to get inside.
Well, it looks significant, the advantage in reach, and he's getting it out there pretty good as he doubles with the left hand, lets the right hand go, and the cheers go up for Taylor. Winky continues to come forward. Taylor backs off, feints, that's the right hand go. That's a nice move. You know who could do that great years ago? Hall of Fame heavyweight Jimmy Ellis was one of the best ever when he was a middleweight, turning, rolling that shoulder, and letting it go, just like that. Hey, Winky lands a couple of shots, but they don't seem to have much power behind him. And Taylor's shots look very punishing at this stage. Winky doing a nice job boxing as he catches him with a jab. but Taylor just gobbles him up. It doesn't seem to bother him.
I think the next time Jermain Taylor gets cheated on a punch will be his first. He's a legitimate, strong middleweight, very comfortable in his division, and Winky Wright doing what he has to in this round now to try to work his way on the inside and try to win the fight there. He cannot beat him from the outside.
Well, with the exception of that punch that you talked about in the second round of his fight against Bernard Hopkins, which was, really changed his whole attitude in the fight. Winky's not looking as good as Bernard right now, I don't think. I mean, as I say that, he lets go with a pretty good stiff left hand, but it's going to be tough for Winky to overcompensate for the power that Jermain is showing right now. I mean, he's working as hard as he can. He's boxing terrifically. I mean, he looks terrific boxing right now. And how much damage is he doing? That one looked pretty good, too.
Well, Winky Wright is forced inside because of that great intangible for Jermain Taylor. He keeps a lot of opponents on the end of his jab. He's strong and has the good reach, so he makes fighters fight in a way in which they're not comfortable.
Well, Winky's trying to get inside and do exactly what you're saying, Dave, and this is where he wants to fight in his kitchen, inside of the reach of Jermain, but getting in there without getting pot-shotted with those long looping shots is a different kettle of fish. He's done it pretty good in this round. I don't know if he's done enough to win the round with about 22 seconds to go.
It's a big cover charge to get inside against Jermain Taylor. You get greeted on the way in with a good stiff jab, and then there were two body shots that came in here.
I mean, I don't see how Winky could be boxing him any better than he is, but what is he coming up with in the end of the day, Or in this case, the end of the round.
Well, he has to hope for a triple.
How do you score in that round?
For Jermain Taylor.
Yeah, me too. And I thought Winky boxed as well as he could possibly box any round. I thought he boxed terrifically in that round, but I think Taylor still on the power, gained the advantage. Dan Birmingham.
That little step back and jab again after he tries to counter you. Jab. When he tries to counter, go back with the jab. Jab. Then left hand. You won that round. You won that round.
A little bit more style demonstrative than this man, Emmanuel Stewart, is a little cooler customer.
Look at Winky Wright having to lunge. Good, straight, hard left hand by Winky Wright. He needs more of this. He got that in. Nice shot there against Taylor, who then answered with the jab. Shows you the dilemma that Wright has. He has to operate inside.
Bob Sheridan, Dave Bontempo at the FedEx Forum in Memphis, Tennessee. This is the middleweight championship of the world. In red, Jermain Taylor, the undefeated middleweight champion of the world. Winky Wright, former 154-pound champ, moving up to fight for the middleweight title. And it's a big step for him against this guy, Taylor, who's so strong. And again, the stock in Jermain went up when we saw what Bernard Hopkins was able to do with our man
Antonio Tarver
last week. And Antonio's in attendance here to see what this is all about.
And after the fight, Antonio was wishing luck to Jermain Taylor to represent this division well. A lot of guys don't like when other fighters come up into it.
There's a Winky getting a shot in, and Jermain making him pay every time he comes in. It's the first time there's a clinch of the fight, and Frank Garza separates the two. Winky with the hands held high. And on occasion, Jermain Taylor's been able to blast that right hand right between the gloves on a couple of occasions anyway. There's the right hand again, landing on top of the eye of Winky. Winky continues to come forward. Jermain goes backward, feels the ropes, plants, slides around, pushes Winky back. Winky doesn't want to really let himself be pushed around and resist, comes walking forward. Then Taylor plants and lets fly with his hands. Look at the fluidity of movement. And again, Wright doing a great job boxing. But look at the power shots. Man, this is a terrific fight.
You pay a big price against Jermain Taylor, and Winky Wright is willing to go in there and do what has to be done, which is a tough way to fight on the inside against a guy firing big shots at you. But you can see that on the outside, he will not be victorious. So he's coming in and he wants to make himself maybe a little bit smaller, try to get into the body shots, and then avoid some shots. Good work here by Winky Wright.
Yeah, this is probably the best 30 seconds, 40 seconds of any portion of the fight. And he's in a position to win this round, by the way. Let's see if he can continue. As I say that, Taylor comes off the ropes, lets the jab fly, sets himself up. Winky continues to force the fight, trying to work on the inside, and Dave told you why. He doesn't want to be out at the end of those punches of Taylor, who's very successful from the outside. Tries to come with the uppercut, smothered by Winky Wright. Wright lets fly with his right hand, right back with the right hand comes Jermain Taylor. Taylor circles around to his right, stops, plants. Winky comes forward, bounces the left off the chin. Frank Garza hold his hands up. I guess he got in too close and didn't want to get hit.
There was a accidental clash of heads, and then they settled it themselves, and Frank Garza wasn't needed there.
Well, that's the last thing we want to see is a headbutt ruin otherwise what should be a spectacular fight before it's all over. And it has all the makings of this. I think Winky Wright has won this third round.
Yeah, good, gritty performance. A tough way to do it, but his battle plan is outlined.
I mean, all this stuff looked great by Taylor, but it was mostly taken in the gloves of Winky Wright, and that's the way Winky fights. I think that's Winky's round anyway.
Good and strong. That's what we're gathering on this strength and power punching going down the strength. Your body reps are beautiful. When you get inside, do like you keep pushing it with your left shoulder, where he can't catch you, but keep moving it back when you get inside. Other than that, you fight a damn good fight.
Jermain Taylor has landed 8 jabs, but Winky Wright 35 through the 3 rounds, indicating that Winky is using that jab to try to get inside and wages battle. Power shots that belong to Taylor, I would bet.
Oh, for sure.
You're the boss out there. You're the boss. Back in the scope.
But remember, professional boxing, it's a hurt business, so no matter how many jabs you hit a guy with, at some stage you got to land some power shots. But this is Wright is an excellent boxer. There's no two ways about it. And that was a terrific round from him. Here we go, round number 4. This is scheduled for 12. Middleweight title on the line. Winky Wright up on his toes. He looks a lot more confident after that last round. And there's the power shot, the right hand straight through. Another right hand lands. Good left hook by Wright. Now he comes down, rather by Taylor. Now he comes downstairs. Winky stands right in front of him. How come no more side-to-side movement, Dave?
Well, he should be doing that. Winky Wright, you don't want to come straight in at Jermain Taylor.
Or straight back.
Straight back. You have to be on the side and then tee off from that. He got a little success last round, but he was a little bit more on the angles. And what's hurting him is that Jermain Taylor is moving and setting up good angles for himself against Winky Wright.
Well, as Winky continues to force the fight, but the power shots are seemingly being landed by Jermain Taylor. Now, a lot of this stuff is being blocked by Winky, and Winky has a look of confidence on his face. That one wasn't blocked, but it's not hurting him. Straight right hand through. I mean, I can't see him taking a heck of a lot more of these right hands without it beginning to take a toll on him.
And what makes Jermain Taylor special, you can block a right hand, he'll throw another one. You block that one, he keeps throwing. Twice in this round, it was his 4th right hand that got in and scored. He kept the pressure on even though punches were blocked. A lot of guys have to reload after you block their punches.
And again, Winky shows some hand speed in here, but more or less the shoe shine sort of punches. They don't seem to be taking any effect on Jermain Taylor. Hey, this is nice boxing by Winky, and here's the power shots right back by Jermain. Again, partially blocked in the gloves by Winky Wright, but as Dave said, sometimes it's a second, sometimes a third, sometimes a 4th punch. This is an excellent boxing match. It's everything that it lived up to be. Look at this, Winky really doing a nice job boxing here. Jermain looking to land a power shot here. He lets Winky load up on him in here, but it doesn't hurt him.
Why it's so tough to fight Jermain Taylor, you have to be perfect against him. No inactivity by Jermain Taylor. He is constantly in action. Good shape.
Well, I don't know. I think Winky's winning this round too, Dave, to this point. I mean, the power blows have been landed on 2 or 3 occasions, but other than that, Winky's outboxing, I think. But, I mean, just look at the significant difference in power of the shots thrown by Jermain Taylor. And he better be landing him because we gave you the punch stat on the jab situation. But look at this. This is good stuff. If Wright was winning the round, maybe it's even now with 20 seconds to go, and this is the 4th round. One significant blow now here, and I might just change the way I see this. Yeah, see this stuff?
Well, he's getting some good work in from the outside, and Taylor continues to come, and he can steal a round away from you. I think he stole off.
I do too. I absolutely agree with you, Dave. So I I've given Taylor 1, 2, and 4, and I guess, Dave, you agree with that.
Yeah, and Winky Wright 3.
Yep.
And when you watch it at home, hey, you mark that one down as a close one that probably could end up splitting the cards of the judges later.
You fight a damn good fight. Keep pushing the left shoulder when you get inside, okay? Push it back. Damn good fight.
And I don't know if you folks can hear Emmanuel Stewart. It's difficult for me to hear him with all the noise in the arena here. But he said you're fighting a damn good fight. So he's pleased with what he sees.
Come on, champ. Come on, man. This kid, backing up. He's scoring 3-1 on this guy.
Interesting stat on the power punches, Dave. Share that with our audience.
Yeah, you know, we figured that Jermain Taylor had the edge, but it's only 42-39. And that's a big, considering the fact he's been out jabbed so much, he needs to be more in control of the power punch.
Yeah, but that's a deceptive statistics, you know, because a power punch, you can't tell when you say a power punch when you're pushing that button that the punch stat boys do, just how powerful a power punch is. And certainly Taylor's power punches are stronger than Winky Wright's. So the statistic is a bit deceptive there. Misleading, I can say.
Anything other than a jab is considered a power punch in the punch stat domain.
Make no mistake about it, then clearly that the most powerful of the power punches, while there's not a significant difference in the amount, are definitely off the hands of Jermain Taylor. Make no mistake about that. And that's really the difference in the fight as far as I'm concerned, because Winky's doing a nice job of boxing. There's another right-hand power shot by Jermain. And Dave, you know, ever since you pointed out the fact that sometimes it's the second, third, or even the fourth, he doesn't stop throwing the right. He'll throw the uppercut with the right hand, he'll throw the straight right hand.
And I think that's what makes him special, because almost no other fighters do that.
Now see, in this little flurry here, seemingly Winky was out boxing, and right back comes Jermain Taylor.
Well, this is a product of a guy who's staying focused on his boxing, and at the prime of his career, severely motivated by everything. And you hit him, he comes back with 2. If you hit him with 2, he comes back with 4.
This is why Winky Wright, in my opinion, is such a terrific fighter. I mean, this guy is clearly bigger, stronger, more powerful, and Winky's right in this fight. He's actually outboxing him in the boxing end of it, but I mean, good shots like that. And right back comes Jermain. Makes him miss with a left hook that time. But see, no angle, and he walked right into the right hand. He's got to stop, and he's not going to stop because, I mean, if he's not getting his angles, there's nothing going to say, I'm not going to come straight at you again.
Sometimes you hit a guy with enough body shots and you change some of his movement, too. He doesn't go side to side as much. He doesn't want to invest in the movement. And we'll see if that's the case here, because Winky Wright is getting rocked.
Yeah, he's getting hit with all kinds of power shots by Jermain, and that's the difference in the fight. There's 50 seconds to go in this 5th round. Again, Winky doing a nice job boxing. Look at that. Henry lands 3, 4, 5, 6 shots, but they take no toll. Jermain comes back with 39 seconds to go in the 5th round. You want a boxing match, folks? They say, what's wrong with boxing today? Nothing. How about this fight? This is terrific stuff. Two greatly, finely tuned athletes in great condition, fighting for the middleweight championship of the world.
Two guys, neither of whom will beat himself.
No, good point too, Dave. Jermain waiting. He wants to land the power shot, letting the guy come in. Winky, doing a nice job, continues to do a nice job boxing. This is not as good a round for Taylor. In fact, I'm going to give that round to Winky. I don't know if you can. There was some serious heavy blows landed by Jermain, but I'm going to give it to Winky. I thought he had boxed him.
You go ahead. You go the other way. We'll have it covered.
All right.
Keep doing what you're doing. Now the fight starts.
Tough one to score.
You wonder if the judges see it the way we are. I wouldn't argue with you, by the way, giving it to Jermain.
Well, and I think that...
And they may be looking for excuses to give the round to Winky, too.
6th round on here. We're down on points. We're down on points. We know that, okay? Landon, when you're back in the corner, he gets over.
So here you go. Winky Wright getting on the inside, popping some good hard shots here. Around the top. And he's in tight. And throwing the kind of hand speed that Jermain Taylor has to respect and doesn't see from a whole lot of guys.
So on my score sheet after 5, I've got Taylor out in front by 1 point. There have been no knockdowns, nobody visibly shaken, nobody cut, puffiness around the eyes as you'd expect of both fighters. Winky shows more bruising around the eyes than does Jermain at this stage. Taylor drawing the action out into the center of the ring now, but it's Winky who continues to come forward, and again he's trying to get on the inside, avoid shots that time. Both guys in great condition because the work ethic of both guys has been wonderful throughout the course of the fight. Although that last punch stat that we had of all the punches that Winky Wright landed in the 5th round shows that Taylor's really depending more on his power shots.
Let's talk about that condition for a second, because watch Winky Wright when he comes in. Not only does he have to get inside, but what he has to do to get out of the way of a shot shows great athleticism and good conditioning. He has to duck underneath, let the punch whiz over his head, and yet stay in good punching position so that he can turn defense into offense. It's really artwork what Winky Wright is sometimes able to accomplish on the inside against Jermain Taylor because he has double duty.
Round 6 at the FedEx Forum in Memphis, Tennessee. Halfway through this 6th round, and it's up for grabs. As Winky showing some nice footwork as he draws back, tries to get an angle and land a shot. He gets a straight left hand down the middle. Taylor makes him pay. Hey, Winky really doing a nice job boxing here. Jermain has got his hands full with this guy.
Well, we're seeing a little bit more of the angles from Winky Wright, and the head movement to duck the right hand has been a good one for him. There was another example.
That time he got off a pretty good right hand. Remember, that's not his power shot. It's his left hand that's a power shot for Winky. Winky is getting more confident. Jermain realizes he's got a tiger in his hands here. Digging body shots, 2, 3 left hooks to the body of Winky. Winky comes in wild with the right hand. Winky Wright, straight left down the middle. Right back with the right hand, power shots is Jermain. Winky says, come on, let's go, let's mix it up. He comes forward. Jermain answers, but look at this. Winky's getting his licks in there, too.
Look for an excellent shot in this fight for Jermain Taylor is the uppercut against Winky Wright coming in, coming down low with his head to avoid the shot. That big uppercut will be there for Jermain Taylor, and that's an excellent punch for him.
If he times it, it'll take the head off Winky Wright. There's the left hook, the straight right hand again. Boy, these are some close rounds. Nice stiff jab that time. I don't know, I gotta give that round to Taylor. Winky boxed as well as he could, and I still think that Taylor won the round.
And I went the other way with that one, too.
All right, so here's 2 guys that see an awful lot of prize fights, and 2 of the last 3 rounds we disagree on.
That's how close they've been.
And I'm sure, usually when Dave and I are like that, calling the fight, it's indicative of the way the judges may be seeing the fight as well.
Use your legs. You got to punch in more combinations than that.
These guys have maintained an awesome pace.
Just running around. Close and get it closer and closer and push it through all the way.
I got a 58-56 in favor of Jermain.
Yeah, it hurt.
You would have it 1 point
Sure,
closer,
this is
I
the
guess.
faster pace of
The same way.
Yeah, you would have, but we get the different
Right, but
ways.
they're different ways.
Right.
Damn good shape.
Remember, the official judges and the
Let's
only
let that
judges
damn
that
right
count
hand
are
go lead it
Chuck
sometime
Giampa,
through
Ray
something.
Hawkins, and Melvina Lathan.
Round, seconds out. Round
For some
7.
reason or other, I don't ever seem to be in line quite with Chuck Giampa. I'm pretty good with Melvina. And I haven't done enough fights with Ray Hawkins to really know how I would go with my scoring, but I'm very rarely right in line with Chuck Giampa for some reason. And Chuck's a great judge.
Yeah, maybe they're not in line with you.
That could be too. All right, this is round number 7. The Colonel Bob Sheridan here with Dave Bontempo. Our principals in there. Jermain Taylor, the middleweight champion of the world, in red to the right of your screen against Ronald Winky Wright. And we have got a dandy of a prize fight as Taylor tries to pick up the pace now. Tries to land the power shots. Winky doesn't back off too much. He doesn't want to give too much ground to this guy. And he's paying the price for it right now. He wants to have his forehead right in the chest of Jermain Taylor. Now Taylor gets himself a little bit more room. Dave pointed out to you back in the first and second round how Taylor likes to get guys out of the end of his punches, and Wright knows that and has tried to smother him. We've got him coming straight in a few occasions, but he's also come in at nice angles. But boy, he sure looks powerful to me, does Jermain Taylor.
These guys are in great condition. We haven't had a situation where one guy has looked tired yet, and they've set a blistering pace. Here we are in round 7 of the scheduled 12-rounder, and the attrition factor hasn't even come close to rearing its ugly head yet.
Both of these guys are used to fighting some close fights with close decisions. Remember, in the 2 fights that Taylor had with Bernard Hopkins, his score was 115-113 on 5 of the judges' 6 scorecards over the 2 fights. The other judge actually had Bernard Hopkins winning by a couple of points. But 5 of the 6 were only 2 points, and they're all the same, 115-113. And these rounds, while, you know, the powerful shots of Jermain seem to stand out, some of the boxing of Winky, you know that the judges are going to pick it up. So this fight, I've got very, very close. But Taylor out in front.
And with Winky Wright coming straight ahead, well, he's made this an exciting fight. I mean, how much more exciting has this been than Taylor in those 2 Hopkins fights?
Well, the only difference is the magnitude of the personality of Hopkins, but the fight itself, for all practical purposes, every bit as good as the Hopkins fight.
This is, I think, superior to it in the sense that because Hopkins played the waiting game, and these guys here are going at it.
Yeah, Winky's not waiting, that's for sure. He's doing the best he can to try to outbox this guy. In a lot of ways, he is outboxing him. But again, you know, I use that term, going to the well and coming back with some water. And, you know, Jermain just seems to be landing the heavier blows and probably getting the nod for most of the judges. But Winky's certainly forcing the fight and making it a terrific prize fight. Power shots partially blocked in the gloves. The people from afar can't tell, but we can tell. They see the spray off his head and they think he's getting his head taken off. When the fact of the matter is it's just hitting the glove and causing the spray. Winky thinks he won that round, but I don't think he won that round.
I don't either. But, you know what? Been strong rounds even in losing efforts by both of these guys.
Drilling them hard shots. That's the way you do it. You understand? You're drilling them hard. I believe he's going to start falling apart in the next couple of rounds. He's going to have some great rounds, but you still look strong and you're hitting it good. But I'd like for you to get close and shoot that right hand. Lead through the center, not the 1-2. Get close and drive it right through the center.
This time, Emmanuel was saying, I want to go with the right-hand lead to see if we can pick up anything.
Breaking him down, you're getting tired, but it's still strong. Keep the pressure on. We can't leave it in the judge's hand. Keep the pressure on him. And step it up.
Here is Jermain Taylor on the inside where he likes to operate. There's that uppercut I talked about. And then the right hand getting through. The uppercut is a huge weapon for him because of the way that Winky Wright leans in. That's the price he pays for getting on the inside.
All right, here we go. Round number 8, the FedEx Forum in Memphis, Tennessee. The Colonel Bob Sheridan with Dave Von Kemper. Hope wherever you're watching around the world that you're enjoying this one. This is, you know, they got that super fighter thing coming up in October down in Australia. This is a super fight, huh?
Hey, this is a great advertisement for the sport.
Yeah, this is really terrific stuff. Jermain loads up that right hand. That's the right hand lead. Remember we talked about Emmanuel leaves his fight with one thought. Well, the thought was throw the right hand. That's what we took out of the corner. And the opening few seconds of this 8th round, that's what Jermain Taylor, exactly what he did. Now here's Winky trying to outbox him on the inside again. Let's see if Jermain comes back with right hand leads again.
And right hand leads real effective against the lefty. He hasn't really done that too much tonight. He's gone to the body and he's loaded up. But the right hand lead to start the action and to get right back on his heels has not been utilized by Jermain Taylor.
A lot of bruising by the right eye of Winky Wright, showing that that left hand has been getting through and getting through the gloves as high as they're held.
Watch the elbow.
But Winky Wright. Winky stands right in front of him with no movement. He better be feinting or moving or throwing. You don't want to get inside without doing something with Jermain, because he will load up shots on you.
And keep an eye on Winky Wright as he gets inside. Look at all the machinations he has to do to avoid getting hit. Has to move the head after he punches and then keep his body square to punch again.
Feigning by Jermain, then he paws with the left hand. When he's pawing, he's looking to throw that, the straight right hand. Whenever he paws with his left and doesn't throw it definitively, you know a right hand is coming. He's waiting, trying to almost sucker him in right now. Paws him off with the left hand, looking to throw the right. That one he cracks him across the nose. Winky right in front of him, hands high, comes forward, lets fly with his right hand, counter with the right hand. Boy, good boxing by Winky. You know, I feel bad for, well, you shouldn't feel bad because he just landed with a real good shot. I feel bad for Winky, but, you know, I like both of these guys. They're great kids. I'm not rooting one way or the other, but I hate to see a guy working as hard. And I was going to say not getting anything out of it, but right now he is.
Yeah, he's been able to get in close and not pay a big price, as Taylor at times has taken part of this round off.
But in the power department, Jermain Taylor has landed some terrific shots in this round.
Like that last right hand.
Yeah. And Winky, I mean, this guy is relentless. The heads come together that time. You got to watch out for that. Frank Garza has been on top of that throughout the course of the fight. Winky comes forward. Did I see a little trickle of blood by the left thigh of Winky? I don't know. Can't see now. It's to the far side of where I'm seated.
It's been an excellent last minute by Jermain Taylor.
They're talking to each other, and evidently the heads did come together. And I still can't tell whether he's cut by that left thigh or not. As the bell ends the 8th round, let's see. No, it doesn't look like it, Dave. I guess it was sweat coming down, but a big bruise underneath the left thigh anyway.
He's got a receipt for where he's been in this fight.
By the way, how'd you score that last round?
I leaned on Winky.
So did I.
I know he did. You're okay.
Yep, the power shots was definitely landed by
Keep doing what you're doing, Wink.
I mean, this is going to be interesting to see how the judges...
Keep moving your head all the time. Move your head. Move your head.
Yeah, and in that round, it's 26-22.
Step back and let him miss it and reel the right hand because he's wide open after that. You got to try to catch Winky while he's jabbing. It's the best time to catch him. So you try to throw 1-2s and there not he blocks him. Try to let him start his jab, take a little step.
Now, Winky Wright, early in the round, had Taylor backing up, and then the heads come together there as they're both leaning for position. And fortunately, it was not a bad clash.
Second down.
We're coming up to the 9th round at the FedEx Forum in Memphis, Tennessee. We welcome all of you watching around the world and glad that you can be with us. This is terrific stuff for the middleweight title. Jermain Taylor in red, Ronald Winky Wright in the gray and white trunks. The middleweight championship of the world on the line. The southpaw, Winky Wright, goes to work right in front of Jermain. Jermain like to get him out of the end of those punches and let fly with that right hand. Steady touches him up a couple times with the left. Emmanuel Stewart loves the way he's fighting this fight. Not rushing it, not panicking, and now he pushes down. And Frank Garza says, hey, none of that. Keep it clean. This has been a real clean fight so far.
At some point, we might see some of these signs of somebody getting tired start to show up, and you'll see the shoving down. You'll see guys stay down a little bit and get a little bit of a breather if they get shoved. But they have set a blistering pace.
At some stage, it's got to start getting sloppy, because the pace has been ferocious. And Winky's legs look a little bit more fatigued, and therefore he's bouncing up and down, trying to get a little of the bounce back into his knees. But I noticed him go back on his heels a couple of times, like he looked like he's off balance, and that is fatigue.
Yeah, he's had to do all the work in a sense, is that he has to always be advancing. He has to be trying to do double duty to avoid getting hit and then turn his body and then get into quick position on the inside. And he's done an excellent job of mastering that against a great fighter.
If in fact Winky is beginning to get a little bit fatigued, and I believe that he is, in spite of the fact he's up on his toes and bouncing good, I think he realized that his legs were getting a little bit heavy, and you'll see Jermain be able to hit him with some more pot shots if that's the case. Looping right hand crashes high on that left thigh of Winky Wright. Jermain looks like he's got a second win right now almost.
And there was that right hand lead we've been talking about and what the corner asked for. But Taylor spends a lot of time backing up and letting Winky come to him.
Just when you think he might be in trouble, Winky muscles up another assault. This guy is a terrific prize fighter. And things are, just not going great for him, but he's really forced the fight, Dave. Showing what a great athlete he is and what a terrific boxer he is.
He's in another guy's home area. He's in another guy's weight class. And he is doing the things that a guy coming up has to do. And a lot of fighters will not pay the price he has to get into position to fight him.
He has a disconcerting look on his face. As I said, he lands a pretty good shot to Jermain on the inside. And here they go. They both just let it fly. Look at this stuff. See, Winky a little flat-footed right now, which I began to see in the early part of the 9th round for the first time. But his legs look a little heavy in the heels, a little awkward. Look at this. Man, I wanted to give this round to Winky Wright, and I just can't do it. I got to give it to Taylor. How you going?
I'm still going to lean with Winky at the end of it, but it's one of these things where it's territory in that case, perhaps, but there could be a number of split rounds here.
You won that round. As long as you don't get in the ropes, you win in the fight. Stay off the ropes. So get the ropes when you get some points. You keep him in the center ring, top it, move it in and out, move it in and out, move it in and out. That's the only way you got to
the last 4, 5, 6 rounds, we haven't agreed on any of them. Although we're about in the same area score-wise.
When he lands, keep him out there. You're ready to fight. Keep him out there where you're boxing and making him use his legs.
Here's Winky coming in. There go the heads again. When Wright fight lefties, this happens a lot. Fortunately, it hasn't happened to short-circuit the fight.
And one thing we haven't seen that you usually see is the front feet getting tied up. A lot of that has to do with Taylor working his front foot to the outside of Winky because Winky wants to work his way in. So we haven't seen the front feet getting tied up and tripping in that respect. But as the fatigue becomes a factor more in this fight, we'll find out. This is round number 10. 3 rounds to go for the middleweight championship of the world. Dave has it a little bit closer than I have it. But this is round 10, but the rounds have seesawed back and forth at different intervals in each round.
We've had sagas within each round, which is an excellent testament about the quality of the fight because these guys are good at negating what the other guy does, stopping a lot of momentum from building up in the opponent.
Again, that shows me, some of the fatigue in the legs. I know that he pushed him down, but it still shows me some fatigue in the legs of Winky Wright at this stage.
Well, he stayed down. He didn't have to stay down there and grab the extra breather.
Round 10 action at the FedEx Forum in Memphis at a terrific middleweight championship fight. 2 straight right hands at time that backed off Winky. Now Jermain trying to make a statement with his power shots. There's the right hand power shot again. Winky flat-footed, and now his heels are looking very heavy. He keeps telling Jermain, come on, come on. And at some stage, you wonder, Jermain's going to say, he's got 17 knockouts in his 25 80s. They say, we're not going to hit this guy with him. Tip him over. Now here's Winky backing back. Look at this. About 10 or 12 unanswered punches, and they keep nodding back at each other, saying, that the best you got?
Well,
now here comes Jermain.
Jermain Taylor did manage to block a lot of those shots that Winky Wright threw at him after he had a good assault himself. But these guys have taken it up a notch, and they're really putting on a show. But here's the big difference in this round. Those shots by Taylor, good, hard power shots, whereas Winky Wright is of the quick-hitting short variety.
Boy, what a fight. Little over a minute to go in the 10th round. Loading up that uppercut, the straight right hand. And Winky shakes his head no. That's usually indicative of the fact that he felt it pretty good. His face is kind of busting up a little bit. A little bit of puffiness underneath the right eye of Jermain. But Winky's, boy, not hard right hand. Good right hand right on top of that left thigh. Taylor continues to back off and invite Winky in. Then he plants and lets fly with the left hand and the right hand again. And Winky continues to throw shots. Man, what conditioning of these two fighters. Talked about what seemingly was leg fatigue of Winky. And by golly, this kid, every time you think he's done and out, he comes back. Just shakes his head, no, you're not hurting me. Now look at these shots. I mean, lesser men are going down with these shots.
The best display of lead right hands by Taylor in the whole fight was in this round.
And that's what Emmanuel Stewart asked for. Jermain still looks stronger. That punch never landed its intended target, which was the chin of Winky Wright. Another terrific round of boxing.
You won the round. Give it ice. You won that round, okay? Give him some water. Get the mouthpiece out. As long as you keep this man in the center of the ring, you're beating him. He only beats you when you go back and take your break in the rope, okay? When you get inside, just push it back. Don't take no break. You're winning this round fight now. And keep him in the center of the ring. His legs are not that good, but when you go to the rope, that's when you get beat. Keep him in, start working on a distance, baby.
You're letting them work too much. Use your legs. Pushing combinations. Come on, baby. Come on, Wink. Push it in. Step it up, Wink. You gotta go. Don't let him back.
Emmanuel said it was about the legs of Winky, and of course that he wants to fight this out in the center of the ring. Great advice.
And something we've been hitting on with Winky Wright, able to succeed when he backs Jermain Taylor up, or Taylor himself backs up to the ropes in the middle of the ring. Taylor has been the controlling fighter.
Well, Winky, by the look on his face, has a second win now. This is round 11. Scheduled, of course, for the championship distance of 12 rounds. Both guys look like they got a second win, and boy, the pace that this fight has been fought, it's amazing the condition that both of these fighters are in. They are the elite of the middleweight division.
Well, this has not had a slow moment.
Not at all.
And that's rare. At any fight, you usually see the guys take a little time off strategically to set themselves up for later, and these guys keep pouring it in.
Straight left hand got through by the southpaw Winky Wright, and of course that's the way the southpaws want to land their power shots, and Winky having a pretty good, this is one of those 20-second periods where he's shining. As I say that, right back comes Jermain with a right hand of his own. But here's what Emmanuel didn't want. He didn't want him with his back up against the ropes. He'd like to get him out in the center of the ring. But there's a fatigue factor in the mind as the fight and the body gets fatigued, so does the mind. Now here he is out in the center. Let's see how much better he does out here.
In fact, the mind gets tired first.
Sure it does.
And, Winky Wright has done everything he could to attack this guy, but Jermain Taylor has hit him with some good hard shots. For Jermain Taylor, when the right-hand leads have been there and he's used them, he's made the rounds a lot easier on himself.
Well, right now, Winky's winning this 11th round of the fight, and he needs it on my score sheet. Jermain waits and waits, and this is again where Emmanuel said, I don't want you to fight the fight. Triples with the jab, looking to land the big right hand. Round 11 action continues, slowed down just a bit. But now there's a bit of strategy in terms of what these fighters are trying to do to make the punches count. Winky, I think, has outboxed Jermain in this round. And now for one of the few times in the fight, Jermain actually grabbed hold of Winky Wright.
Taylor is keeping his left hand low, trying to set traps for Winky Wright. He starts in the middle of the ring. He can go side to side and do the same thing instead of going back into his corner where it becomes a different fight.
Here he is backing off, actually making Winky look awkward, but Winky continues to throw punches. Winky's having a whale of an 11th round. He's not hurting the guy, but he's certainly outboxing him. And as I say that, right back comes Jermain Taylor. At no time do you ever feel like Taylor's been hurt or out of control. I mean, in spite of the fact that Winky has come forward, I get the idea that the ring generalship is by Taylor. He's allowing him to come forward and trying to, as Dave said, set the trap for him.
And he should be doing it side to side, though. He should be doing it more side to side. When he goes back, setting traps, he's losing the round.
As Winky getting a bit of an angle, and there's the end of round 11. That's a right round in my book.
Beautiful. If you win this next round, we got this fight. Wait, let's win this ring. Use your legs like you did. You step back and come after you. Go in, go out, okay? Ronald Wright win.
You gotta go. He got a little flurry on you right there, and you didn't get it back. It might have cost you the fight. You got to get out and win this last round. Talk to yourself. Just let yourself let them punches go. You understand? Keep it in the center ring. You don't never get beat until you go back in the other corner. Then let them stay in the center of the ring.
You gotta fight with your fucking heart. Let's go.
Interesting comments. The corner of Winky Wright feel if he wins the 12 round, he's going to win the fight. And Emmanuel Stewart also said, you may have given the fight away by losing that round, which would make me think that it's a little closer than what I have, but just as close as the way you have.
Well, it's been very tight, some tough rounds to score. I think everybody's caught up in the emotion of the back and forth action.
All right, here we go. This is the 12th and final round. The FedEx Forum in Memphis, Tennessee. Jermain Taylor, Winky Wright. It has been everything it was supposed to be and then some. Contrasting styles, the real classic boxing style of the southpaw Winky Wright and the power of Jermain Taylor, but neither fighter has been down. Nobody's been shaken. There are times during the course of the 8th and 9th round I thought that Winky's legs were starting to look cumbersome and heavy, but every time I try to point that out to you folks as the viewing audience, he would come back and do something extraordinary to negate what I was trying to point out.
And this is a guy who's moved up in weight, doing a tremendous job in this fight. A lot of guys move up and, they sacrifice something, but Winky Wright, all he did was obtain more courage up at this weight because he knew he had to get in and do infighting with Jermain Taylor.
It's a terrific fight, there's no question about it. Now, Taylor really hasn't landed anything to the first minute of the 12th round in a round that Emmanuel Stewart told him, you must win this round. He, as a matter of fact, if you could hear it clearly watching, he said, you may have blown the fight in the last round.
But the round before him, he told him he's winning the fight, though. So these guys, you know what? It's motivating. Only the 3 judges count. A lot of amateur scoring in the building. Jermain Taylor not doing much with that right-hand lead, which was so successful in round 10. He's gone away from it.
And look at Jermain's left eye. It's practically closed. You wonder how much you can see out of that. Meaning that in the last couple of rounds, Winky has made him pay by getting his straight right hand through there and certainly his jab. And, of course, his left-hand power shot that, while it's not powerful as what Taylor's has been throughout the course of the fight, has been certainly kept Winky in this fight. Right now, Winky looks the fresher and more alert of the 2 fighters. As I say, look at this every time. And this is the seesaw battle. Back and forth it goes. And that's what makes for sensational fights. Look at this stuff. I'll tell you one thing, neither one of these guys is going to leave much on the shield when this is all over.
I cannot remember a fight, and to really go back to find when wire-to-wire, such intensity and almost perfection in terms of the pace of the fight. It's just as active in round 11 and 12 as it was in the beginning.
Which is extraordinary and a great credit to the professionalism of these 2 fighters and their corners and the entire promotion. Meaning Lou DiBella, Gary Shaw, both corners of Taylor and Winky Wright, and of course the athletes themselves. The crowd is on its feet for the last 15 seconds of this fight. They really approve. Closer to this as they battle to the wire. This fight's almost in the books. Wow.
I think we'll have to see this again.
Well,
let's have Taylor and Wright too.
But I say that 5 out of the last 6 judges have scored Taylor against Hopkins 115, 113. That's how I've got it in this fight. 2 points separating the 2 with Taylor winning it. But, this is the type of fight with all the close rounds, Dave. You have, 1 point separating, or do you have a draw?
At 1 point for Taylor. But it was, Wright coming on. And, if it was 1 point the other way, you couldn't argue with that either.
No, not at all.
Because,
this is a 2-point fight one way or the other.
Yeah, because these guys put on a tremendous show. And what happened is, there were different swings within each round, many rounds.
Boy, look at the eye of Jermain. He had to fight the last 6 minutes of the fight like that. No matter how this comes down, I thought it was an extraordinary effort in that, most people thought Taylor was going to be able to handle this guy. But Winky, it just proves what a great, great fighter he really is, because it was an extraordinary effort. And who knows what the judges saw, that he may have won the fight. Who knows?
Yeah, the idea of coming up and having to win the fight twice. When you come up and fight a strong fighter, he had to get on the inside and then keep his positioning so that he could fire shots and then avoid the counter punches. So he had to do a lot lot of extra work, and he was up for it. These guys were in terrific condition. I do hope we get to see this fight again, because these guys really displayed professionalism.
If Wright wins the fight, there is a rematch clause. And that's part of the reason why the WBA wasn't about to sanction this fight, and why it wasn't for the WBA title, because they knew if Wright won this fight that there was going to be a rematch, and that would leave, of course, the other champion, Felix Sturm, out. All that's academic, and I mean, really shouldn't even be talked about on the heels of this tremendous, extraordinary prize fight that we've just seen. But it'll be interesting to see how the judges saw it. As we said, there were so many close rounds in the fight. There were moments in the fight where one guy for 10, 15, 20 seconds was doing great, then the other guy would come back. On the occasions that I point out, look at this, I think that Wright might be in trouble. All of a sudden, right back he comes. And look at the eye of Jermain. Okay, Michael Buffer standing by, and here it is.
Ladies and gentlemen, we go to the scorecards. Chuck Giampa scores the bout. 115-113 for Taylor. Ray Hawkins scores it. 115-113 for Wright. Melvina Lathan scores the bout. 114-114. A three-way split. This bout is a draw. Jermain Taylor retains his middleweight championship.
Well, Dave, it's closer to the way you had it. One judge had it dead even. One judge had it 2 points one way, which Chuck Giampa and I finally agree on a fight. And Ray Hawkins saw it the other way. He liked the accumulation and a lot of punches and the aggressiveness of Winky Wright. And Melvina Lathan had it 1 point different from the way you had it, and she called it a draw.
If you got three different judges up there, three totally different perspectives as well, because the fight offered something to anybody with a particular judging style. If you like aggression, you could go for Winky Wright. If you like good counter-punching and power, you could go for Jermain Taylor. Winky Wright was rallying in this fight. He did very well down the stretch, but Jermain Taylor did a lot of good early work in this bout.
As Winky Wright is leaving, he I suppose, is glad to get a draw, because now there's another multi-million-dollar payday. I'm sure he thinks he won the fight. I mean, it's obvious by the gesturing that he thinks he won the fight. And one judge at least thought he won the fight, and the other judge is only a point away from giving him the fight. Dave, when you take a look at the punch stats now, they were extraordinarily in favor of Winky Wright. We got the interview coming up, and I think we're going to be able to drop in on it. Larry Merchant from the HBO network in the United States is going to interview Jermain Taylor. All right, here's Larry. Go ahead, Larry.
There you go. Thank you very much, Jim. I'm not sure. I usually say congratulations, champ. You are still the champ.
Yes, sir.
Should you be congratulated on this fight?
It's always something with me, ain't it, Larry? It's always something. Man, Larry, I give it up to Winky Wright. He's a great fighter. He threw his punches and bunches. He came with it tonight. I got to give it to him.
What gave you the most trouble from Winky tonight? It looked like his right jab over your low left was the difference for him.
Exactly. It was his jab. He had a great jab. I mean, I didn't think his jab was that fast, and he worked it. Like, he showed me that he has a great jab.
How bad was the eye?
In the later rounds, started getting real bad to where I can't see. Especially that last round, I really couldn't see him much anything. But he was running like he had to fight one, and I stayed trying to get him. I'm sorry.
I'll get back to that in a minute.
Yes, sir.
Did you think you had hurt him at any time in the fight?
I thought I landed a couple of good punches, but if I did hurt him, he played it off well. He played off real good.
Why did you spend so much time on the ropes when in the middle of the ring you were clearly winning the fight?
He didn't have much power, and then I was going to try to time him and come back. Every time he hit me, I was going to try to come back with something. He's so fast, I couldn't even get it off. But I know next time, just stay in the middle of the ring. I was clearly winning the fight in the middle of the ring, and Manny, he kept telling me, stay off the rope, stay off the rope. I don't know, Larry. I just...
Tell me at the end of the night what Emmanuel Stewart did for you that helped you retain your title.
All the training, just all the hard work, and just pressure, and just by being at the Crunk Gym. You know, I thank all those guys at the Crunk Gym for just motivate me. I felt it when I was in there.
When you saw him start to box and move in the 12th round, what went through your mind?
I was like, what is he doing? I mean, he winning on the flurries. Go ahead and fight me. I mean, he clearly throwing straight punches, just catching me. If I was him, I just would have kept fighting. That's the difference between us.
Do you think, since this fight was a draw, that he blew the fight in the 12th round, apparently thinking he had it won already?
I felt like if he wanted the title so bad, he should have fought all 12 rounds, because that's what I would have did. That's what I did. I fought all 12 rounds. I didn't get in there running them last rounds thinking I had to fight one. You know, I feel like it's a boxing match. You got to fight all 12 rounds.
All right, there was a rematch clause in the contract.
Yes, sir.
If you would have lost, there would have been a rematch. This was a good, bristling action fight. You retain your title with a draw. Do you now think there should be a rematch?
I will fight Winky Wright again. Yes, sir, I would. Just to let everybody know. Man, I'm a fighter. You know, I don't control what nobody say, what nobody do. I'm a fight. That's what I come to do. I may not do it like you want me to do it, but I'm going to fight, baby. I'm going to fight all 12 rounds. I promise you that.
You did. Congratulations, then.
Thank you so much, Larry.
Back to you, Jim.
I love you, Little Rock.
Okay, let's go.
The Colonel Bob Sheridan back here at ringside with Dave Bontempo. We've seen an extraordinary prize fight. Obviously, the difference in the fight, the power shots of Jermain Taylor, to my way of thinking, were enough to give him the fight in one of the judges, and to the thinking of the other judge, that there was enough accumulation of punches by Winky Wright to give him the fight. Thus, we have a draw. Dave, final comments.
A great fight. I really hope we do see it again. Winky Wright displayed a mountain of courage and heart coming up, and strong. The fact that he did so well at the last part of the fight, we have to see this fight again.
Oh, yeah, and we will see it again. So that's the story here in a terrific middleweight championship fight. Jermain Taylor retains his titles, and Winky Wright will get the fight another time against this guy. He put on a terrific show and gets himself a draw. So for our executive producer, Frank Belmont, and our producer, Jason Beidel, along with our director, Dave Getz, and for Dave Bontempo and our entire staff at Del Monte Productions, I'm the Colonel Bob Sheridan saying thanks for joining us. Glad you could be with us. Good night. So long, everybody, from Memphis, Tennessee.